Welcome, dreamers. Yes, it has been a hot minute, but we're your hosts, the Russian Bear, aka Jason Smith, and
Name. I'm Quentin. And
Quentin
I don't have a
Tarantino,
nickname.
aka not Quentin
People call me
Tarantino.
Puddles. I guess that works.
So yes, it
It's
has
all
been
good.
a while.
Stay all chill. Yeah. What have you been up to?
Started my new job, but more importantly and more interesting. Oh my
You got
god.
moonshine in front of you. That's what's making it hard.
Oh yeah.
Usually it's me. What's up?
I haven't drank in a while. First of all, that's what's up. Secondly, you tell me, Quentin Tarantino,
What's up?
what did you just get back from?
Not Cosmicon.
Cosmicon apparently is a different
Cosmicon
thing.
is apparently when women talk about sex or something like that, like Cosmopolitan or something. Anyways, I went to Comic Con, which is the total opposite, which is a nerd convention.
Look it up.
Where,
Look it up.
um,
Continue talking.
Yeah, where a nerd convention where you just dress up as your like favorite comic book character, or I don't know, game if you're into gaming or TV shows. Literally you can dress up as anything you want to. I mean, you could dress up as Abraham Lincoln.
Do you have
There
to be
w-
dressed up to go? Can you just go as
No,
yourself?
you can go as yourself. I was myself for a whole day because it was so hot. But there was this stripper pole. This Abraham Lincoln. That sounded bad. There was this Abraham Lincoln guy who looked just like Abraham Lincoln with top hat and mustache. Did he have a goatee?
I'm sure he had a very luscious beard.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, he did.
And yeah, he was ripped, and he was a stripper, Abraham Lincoln, just in the middle of the bar, like right there because he could, and he was getting tips, right there in the middle, right in front of the bar. Like yeah, there's just stupid stuff like that. I mean, we went and saw a concert. There's like famous people who come there. I mean, I saw Chris Pratt.
Like the real Chris Pratt?
Yeah, like there's tons of famous people. Millie
Oh.
Bobby Brown was walking around. Did you watch Stranger Things 3 or 1 or actually season one?
Season 1.
Barb
Yes.
that gets lost. She
Yeah.
was just walking down the street. We said hey to her. Like, there's tons of famous people. It's Atlanta. Atlanta's like the new Hollywood. So all these famous people are there. It's like a convention. All these panels are going on, and at night, all those famous people go party with all the fans. That's
Right.
literally what it is. So you go watch these panels, like for Firefly. I don't know if you watched that old show with the space cowboys. It's kind of like Star Wars.
Nope.
Okay. I'm trying to think of another popular panel. iZombie on CW.
Yeah, I've seen.
Their
yeah.
whole cast was there talking. Charlotte went and saw them. I didn't.
Is this what you went to,
This
Dragon
is what I
Con?
went to. So that's until the next one. We already bought ours, but so yeah, it's a convention focusing on science fiction, fantasy, gaming, comics, literature, art, music, film, and the universe. Call us a phenomenon. Call us one of the greatest, or one of the most well-attended pop culture conventions in the country. Call us the most fan fun you can have in 5 days.
And that is our sponsor for the day,
Yeah, I wish.
Dragon Con.
I do know people. I probably could get us in with an interview with them next year if we're still going. So
We will still be going. Are you
yeah,
insane?
I couldn't have done it this year, but I do know people. We do know people.
Is it true that they hand out condoms during these events?
There was nuns passing out condoms for the first day. Nuns.
Do you know why that is?
Probably because people have sex during Dragon Con. I don't know.
Nope, they just walk around making water balloons out of condoms. Of course, they have cordis.
Yeah.
It's an interesting thing that I read about was that there's a higher rate of like pregnancy after these events.
So yeah, here's people to see. I don't know if it's going to show this year from... Yeah, maybe it will because it says August 29th through the 19th. But while I'm looking that up, what have you been doing with your job? Like, what all have you been enjoying?
So, because I can't actually say who I work for and what I do, it's not that secretive,
Yeah.
but it's because it's the federal government and we're not allowed to tell people over social media because of those media laws.
Yeah.
It's a national service organization, okay, in the upstate of South Carolina, and I am at a site that does food preparation, and we'll leave it at that. So I've been there for about 3 weeks, learning about the nonprofit world, learning about nonprofits in South Carolina and around the nation. It's really cool. You learn a lot about your community and how to fight poverty and people's viewpoint on poverty, and it kind of helps you to find, if you want to give back to your community, it gives you the outlets to do it, the resources, So that's what I've been doing. I've been doing some project development. I got 2 projects working on right now. That's going to help the site that I'm at for the long term. So that's really what I've been up to.
Cool.
Nothing really funny to say. And if it is, I can't say it because someone listening has been with me on these places, and that would look really bad.
Yeah. What about day life? You just had dog training. How'd that go?
First of all, I don't know if anyone's ever had like professional dog training. Shout out to the guy who came to our house and trained our dog named Titan. He's a yellow lab. He's the runt of the litter. He's very smart. So they have this collar that mimics whenever the dogs are puppies, the mama biting them or nipping them in the neck. So we had that collar on him. We was teaching him how to walk beside us and stuff. And he would jump up and like grab the leash with both of his paws and then like alligator roll while horrendously screaming. So we thought he was dying, and we're all very much so attached to pets these days, just like children. So you kind of want to baby your pet, but you don't want to see him squalor and squeal. Yeah. So you kind of, once you get that out of you and you're like, this is good for the dog and it's going to help him, like your kid, once you spank them or discipline them for the first time, they cry and raise Cain. Then you realize this is good for them. Some parents know that. Yeah. You can't be I'm gonna end up getting on a soapbox tonight. I feel it. But soapbox. You never heard that expression?
No.
When you stand up and start preaching and ranting and raving.
Well, no.
Okay.
Who are you gonna get it from?
The soapbox?
Yeah.
It's a.
Who are you gonna get preached from? Your dog? I'm so confused. Like what?
Okay. We're gonna back up, dreamers. Okay.
Okay. How old's your dog? First of all.
My dog's 2.
Dog's 2.
Ish.
Okay.
We got him from the animal rescue.
Zelda's 3. We were thinking about getting obedience training. Is that what kind of it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So what a soapbox is it's a metaphor for ranting about a certain subject, or I guess really like a subject, like the subject being parents want to be their kid's best friend versus their actual parents.
Mm-hmm.
That's a soapbox. So you talk about that, but you're very passionate about what you're talking about. So you probably say some things that are close to your ideology, and you probably will offend some people. And then you have to apologize. But it just comes from people would literally stand up on a soapbox or a crate and preach their message or their ideas in the middle of a street or a square or whatever. So that's where that comes from.
That makes sense. Yeah, I looked up some people like Rose. I don't know how to say her last name. I don't want to butcher it. McCliver. She's from New Zealand. She's Off Eye Zombie. She's like the main character. And then Allie from Disney. You probably know her. Allie and AJ, the band. AJ and Allie.
That's what I listen to all the time.
No, you don't. My wife does. So we went to that concert. The main actor from Shazam, the older actor.
Yeah.
I don't remember his name, but he was there. He did a pretty cool job. I didn't actually get to his panel. I watched him on the TV. But he's really funny. Carl Urban, he's on a lot of stuff. A lot of Star Trek people. William Shatner was there. The old
Star
Trek actor. Those were cancellations, but those were like a few. Reba? Is that Reba? No.
It's not Reba McEntire. She ain't out there.
Why would Reba be at Dragon Con?
Well, Reba, if you're listening, which you probably are, if you want to go to Dragon Con or any other event, by all means,
we almost
I'll be there. I love you, Reba.
We almost went to the SpongeBob panel. The voice of Squidward was there. The comic voice, not the play voice. Like the Nickelodeon version of Squidward, not the impersonation of Squidward that plays on Broadway.
I didn't know that there was a Broadway version of SpongeBob, so there's that.
It's a musical. So, but the guy that plays SpongeBob sounds just like SpongeBob. I don't know if it's actually the voice actor or not, but so yeah, that's
very nice.
That's Dragon Con. So yeah, that's what me and my wife did. We stayed from Thursday through Monday night.
Hey, shout out to all those affected by Hurricane Dorian. Hope you all are alright.
Yeah, especially I know it's hitting South Carolina right now. We're actually in South Carolina. But yeah, I mean, I saw a video. Hang on, let me see if I can pull it up. There's a video of a car. Did you see
Are you
it?
talking about the Jeep thing?
The Jeep stuck
I
on the
just got
beach.
done watching that and how long that Jeep lasted.
That-
That, my friends, is a Jeep commercial
That's a way to
for
get
a
that,
lifetime.
or a way to get your insurance money if you want to get rid of a
Or
car.
to quickly lose your $65,000 you spent on your nice Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Or that, yeah. Kevin Hart got into a crash. That was pretty bad. I heard.
Shout out to Kevin Hart. I know you'll be listening to this later.
Yeah.
Hope you get better, bro.
If he is, yo, give us a comment. I know you're going through some stuff right now. Dang, that does look bad. He went
Yeah,
off
driving
that.
your vehicle off of a cliff usually doesn't end well. But I'm glad.
Well, he wasn't driving. He was riding.
That's how Paul Walker died.
Yeah.
So the takeaway from this is
Don't ride with
if you're
someone.
famous, drive yourself.
Yeah, don't ride with someone. Yeah, he's got to get back surgery, I think. You saw on Kelly Clarkson's show, she had her first major guest today. It was supposed to be Kevin Hart, and he couldn't show because of the surgery, so The Rock left his honeymoon, I think 4 days early or 3 days early, and showed up on the Clarkson show just for him. I think there's a video of it, but it's really cool to not let Kevin Hart be the one that lets a show down type thing like that. He has respect for him, even if he talks crap about him sometimes, but it's like a funny,
Yeah, that's just having
Funny
someone's
crap
back.
talk.
That's called
Yeah.
being a friend.
yeah.
So what else is new? Catch our people up.
NFL's about to start. I'm
Okay.
pretty stoked about that. Sports are.
Yep, go
I'm not a
Eagles.
baseball. I used to be a baseball fan. I'm just excited for football to be back.
First of all, I'm more of a college football fan than a
Yeah.
professional football.
Yeah.
Or NFL, I should say, because people get offended if I use the word professional too loosely. Clemson's going to be number one. Dabo was on a press conference who said that this is why I like Clemson. I don't like it for their, because they won last year's national championship. I like them because their program, and Dabo is a great, him and his team have done a great job with the program over the past, I think 10 years.
I think it has a lot to do with Dabo too. I don't think it's just like the whole
Yeah,
organization.
it's his program, and there's a lot that we don't see, but I read a lot about the program, and there's a lot that they do with the students and the athletes, and they know how to work both sides of their I guess person, I would say.
Yeah.
So, knowing how to work that is awesome. Not to say that any other program is not as good as Clemson.
Yeah.
You look at Oregon, Alabama,
Oregon
Auburn.
was supposed to be really good, but apparently they flopped this first game. Their first game, I think.
It's the first game. But there's just a lot of, programs that build a team, and the school obviously gets the credit for it, but it's really, the coaches, the coaching staff, and the people that support the coaching staff.
Yeah.
And the kids wanting to be a part of that, and they know, I hate using the term buy-in or all-in, obviously,
Yeah.
but, accepting responsibility for being part of that program, I guess is the best way to say it.
Yeah. So I mean, the top four is Clemson number 1, Alabama number 2, which hasn't changed. I don't think Georgia was number 3, were they?
I have no idea. I'm not a football guru, and I will not
Georgia definitely
pretend to
deserves to
be
be number
one,
3.
because y'all will roast me.
Yeah. I
That
know
we
Georgia
talking
probably
about-
deserves to be number 3 because they are the only one besides Clemson that
Yeah.
can compete with Alabama and give them some competition right now. Which that's talking about more of last year. Alabama has actually shown this year they are not going.
But this is only game one.
It is only game 1, but their whole defensive line basically went to the NFL, like Alabama. So.
Right, but Clemson had a lot of people move on. But
But it was more scattered.
Right.
Alabama
Right.
had one whole area.
But
leave.
that shouldn't
It shouldn't.
hurt.
Their second string should be good enough to come in because they
Right.
practice under them. But yeah, LSU's gonna be good.
I'll tell you a program and a university that I really like is Michigan.
Yeah, they're kind of every other year though. They're in it one year and then they kind of
Overall, as a school, I really admire them as a university and as an educational.
yeah.
On the educational side, along with the athletic side, I give them props. I'm not gonna be able to, spit stats, but I just think that they have the university as a whole is very, is very solid. Their ideology with that.
Yeah, I think that would be Clemson and Texas for me.
Is it Notre Dame or Notre Dame?
I don't know. There's probably controversy about that. Like,
Probably.
I say Notre Dame, but that's how they said it on Rudy, the TV show.
First of all, it was a movie, and
oh, that's right, it was a movie.
Rudy,
yeah.
Rudy.
But they said Notre
Rudy.
Dame, not Notre Dame. Notre Dame's the Disney humpback of
Notre Dame.
No,
Yeah,
but
his house just recently burned down. So
did it?
you didn't know that?
No.
What the cathedral that burnt? And
oh
like,
yeah, that's right.
it was his house, bro.
I thought you meant the guy who acted his house burned down.
No,
I was like, how did you know that his house burned down?
I burned it down, bro. So shout out to one of my new friends. Just graduated from Auburn. I harass them about Clemson all the time, but they really don't give a crap, and they'll probably never hear this. So, shout out to you know who you are.
Are they gonna listen?
Probably not, but it's okay because when they do.
So, do you believe in ghosts?
Yes, I am a firm believer in paranormal activity.
And
is it
aliens,
on the
like,
scale?
Would you compare ghosts to aliens type thing? Like,
No, I would not because I think they're two different. I mean that. What?
One
No,
is
you
spirits.
can't. You can't do like.
can spirits not be classified as an alien?
Okay, in definition, it is a foreign. It is foreign. Is it really foreign though? Because they used to be of this world, right? Then they
Yeah.
died, and now
and
they're
they're
spirits.
supposed to be in another world, but they got stuck.
Well, the other world is here, right?
Yeah.
Aliens aren't of Earth
A lot of people,
originally, and they come to Earth, right?
yeah, a lot of people think ghosts comes. Their presence comes through a parallel universe that kind of links back to us. So
We're losing a lot of religious people right now. We're going down the drain so quick.
no, actually not. If you do believe in any kind of God, you should believe in ghosts.
In the Holy Ghost,
You should believe
right?
in
Yeah,
that.
but
I mean, I believe in the stuff. I do think there's probably life outside of this world.
I would hope so. I'm
But-
really hopeful.
Not sophisticated like we think out there. I don't
Like-
think there's anyone smarter than us out there. And
I
if there is-
don't know because I mean, it's vast, right?
Yeah,
And
it could go on forever.
I think it's kind of egotistical of us to think that we're the smartest species
There
out
could
there.
be another space in another dimension.
Right. Like we're
Like,
still
we're in
learning
one
about
dimension.
space.
Yeah.
So
Space.
I would love to think about aliens and that they're out there and that they've come to Earth.
Yeah.
But my problem with history a lot of times is why isn't it happening now? And then people go, well, the government's covering it up. But then when you read the accounts, it's always, no offense to anyone that's ever seen an alien, because please don't unsubscribe.
Yeah. Please don't.
But if you have, like and subscribe.
Yeah. We just talk about random stuff.
they're
on
always
scripture, we
like-
just kind of go with the flow.
They're always I'm gonna say not. They're eccentric individuals.
Yeah.
Right. Like there's some people that have grew up on the farm, and there's very, I'm not saying that they're uneducated, but when they talk and they get interviewed, they can't portray their stuff.
Yeah.
Right, so if they're like, there's some daggum hillbilly, I done see me a flying saucer up in the sky, and he came down here, he took 2 cows, and he took my cousin Benny,
Yeah.
and cousin Benny came down, and he done had 18 staples in his stomach, and he's missing daggum appendix.
Kind of like a guy from like Louisiana or something like
Right.
that's lived on a farm.
And
his whole
then,
life.
yeah, I know aliens exist, it's all a big conspiracy, the government's covering it up, and then, everything's conspiracy, there's a big old crop circle out there. No, it couldn't have been the kids. Kids can't do that.
But there's been no proven. Actually, that is false. There has been like mysterious crop circles pop up, but who knows if someone like
Right.
playing a prank.
But the same thing with the ghosts is, or the paranormal activity is, the technology that was built for it was
Yeah.
built to seek it, right? It's like a metal detector. It was built to detect metal.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe that wasn't a good description because metal detectors are very accurate. Okay, so the technology was built for that sole purpose of proving that they're real, right?
Yeah.
They wouldn't build technology I don't think in that type of science field for them to say that they're not real, because a lot of people would lose money, right?
Yeah.
People would lose
A lot of people lose a lot of money just to try to
a lot of credit.
prove their dream.
A lot of
which
people would dispute it, obviously, and someone would build the technology on the other side
Yeah.
to prove that they do exist. But now, I believe in, I'm gonna say ghosts,
Mm-hmm.
and manifestations and like poltergeists, because I've had personal accounts of ghosts and things like that.
So the whole parallel universe, like the
I'm not sure where I stand on like where they stay. If they just kind of wake up and do a 9 to 5 and come
But
haunt
all
haunt Earth, or do
Yeah.
they just kind of roam around and gather some energy from?
So at this point, you just know that there's some sort of existence. You just don't know where it comes from.
Right.
Like what I was about to bring up was the
But-
energy. Was
but
the energy. Like,
I don't think that medians
Yeah.
and psychics are real. I do not believe that.
Yeah.
And that could just be my ignorance, but I don't believe that, hey, I've read a bunch of books, or I was born with a gift and I can now talk to your dead relative. I don't believe in that, because I think you're frauding the public.
Yeah.
Right? It's like magicians. Hey, I go see a magician because I want to learn about magic and I want my brain to be fried. Like, how did he do that?
Yeah.
But
It's like brain tricks.
Right.
It wakes you up a little.
I don't think you go there knowing that some things are incredible and awesome, and you're like, God, how did he do that?
Because the magician is just an illusionist.
Right.
All it is an illusion.
But the median, so the magician takes your curiosity and
Yeah.
your imagination to the max. The median takes your imagination and curiosity and then ties in your emotional
Yeah.
strings. And that's not right, because what happens is if they get defrauded saying, hey, they're fake, you've just destroyed people's lives who just got answers.
Yeah. It's almost
I did air
that
quotes for
magicians
answers.
is trying to find our blind spots.
Right.
Like illusionists are professionals at knowing humans' blind spots in their brain.
I think magicians are like, they're athletes, because
You kind of have to be a mind reader in a what? Not
What's
a
his name?
legit mind reader to read the future, but you got to know.
you
got to
read
thinking.
people. Right.
Yeah, you got to
And-
know what someone's thinking
Right.
before you do it. Which is crazy.
Bane? Is there a Bane?
Dane's all Batman.
Bane.
Are you trying to come up with illusionists?
The one that has like the Netflix series.
Oh, you're gonna have to look that up. But what I was gonna talk about was spirits and aliens. If there is an existence at some anywhere, even if there's a weird ghost or something living around in your house, there's got to be some kind of energy that fuels them. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever shape they have, they need to have some sort of energy source to live.
David Blaine.
Yeah, David Blaine. Yeah. But they should, at least in our universe with particular laws of physics,
Chris Angel.
like Chris Angel's a good one too.
Yeah. All right. I'm sorry. I'm quick cutting you off.
No,
Go
no,
ahead.
no, no. I'm talking about energy, like spirits.
Yeah.
And aliens, anything like ghosts. They gotta have some kind of energy that fuels them. Like something can't exist without energy.
Well, matter cannot be created nor destroyed, and
Yeah.
so
we wouldn't exist without energy. The
Right.
sun, we'd be.
so that might explain why whenever lights dim, batteries go dead.
Something usually.
Yeah, like there's a electrical surge or anomaly.
But
I'm in full support of that theory. I really am.
but energy has to exist.
But it's just strange that, I'm very open-minded, so I can think about ghosts open-mindedly. Some people
Yeah.
can't. And some people have seen things, but they want to rationalize it. And that's what the brain wants to do. It just wants to rationalize everything.
Yeah.
But there's some things that I've experienced that I know for a fact I've tried to rationalize it, and it's just not happening. It's
Yeah.
just, you can't do it.
Wouldn't it be so? Our humans' history, we're still trying to figure out our history. We don't even fully know our history, which is our
No.
species. We're still finding fossils of prehistoric creatures that were developing into us.
We're still finding
skulls
ancient civilizations that we
Yeah.
didn't know existed,
And-
or were kingdoms.
and
You
stuff our species drew or wrote, or how language was created. We're just starting to find, and it'll probably be going on forever. The stuff that goes on.
yeah, that's
But,
what I love.
could you imagine digging into another species history? We know that there's a possibility of aliens, but if something does exist, their history, trying to learn their history, they're still trying to figure out their history.
Well, we sent a time capsule out with the Hubble telescope.
Yeah. But
So you believe in ghosts, obviously, right?
yeah,
Let's stay on the ghost thing, not the little cute alien shaking a man's hand.
yeah,
I'm gonna tell a ghost story. Okay, and then you gotta tell a ghost story. We're gonna be like little schoolgirls, okay?
All right.
Okay, so now the
I'm not good at that. You can tell.
I just gonna no, you gotta tell them too.
I gotta tell a ghost story.
Like the best ghost story.
Okay. All right.
Okay, it doesn't have to be a ghost story for you to say. It could be anything like unexplained, right? For me,
But the only thing I wanted to talk about that's unexplained was like alien activity I've seen.
that's fine.
But that's not
So,
the same thing. But, oh no.
I forgot to mute the video. Anyway, I think my best and ongoing ghost story, like the top that I'd always share, would be whenever I went to my first college, Spartanburg Methodist College, in Spartanburg, South Carolina, and I stayed in Hammond. And Hammond was built in like early 1900s. By the students that were going to the school, and that building before it was a residence hall was the college. It was a Tesla college, I do believe. So it had the classrooms, the kitchen, the dining, the lodging, all that fun stuff. So I lived on the third floor, and I'm gonna start name dropping people. Me and my buddy Robert moved in. So he moved into that building a semester before I did, and I moved across the hallway. And the building itself was creepy because the hallway lights would go off, and then it was really hollow because it's really old and really tall ceilings and built with stone. So it's everything echoes.
Yeah.
And so at night, the indoors on the hallways would close, and they're just hollow aluminum doors, and they would just slam closed and just scare you. And the rooms
it could be because of air too, but
yeah.
Like air, like when you open a window and a door slams, like maybe bad ventilation or something.
Yeah,
a lot of people think that what that is in a lot of places, but some places like you're talking about might not have even ventilation. So how are those doors slamming?
Right, and that could have been. So we can explain that. So we were there. So I moved into my room, and my light never worked. Like the ceiling light never worked. And I put a maintenance request in, and it never got filled for like 4 months. So I borrowed Robert's lamp, and it was in the fall, so I left my two huge windows, by the way.
Yeah.
Not very safe. I hope they change that at this point.
Yeah.
But I had one of those soft fleece blankets that when you rubbed your hand across it, it would go to the darker light side. So whenever we would get done with class, I would put my keys, wallet, and phone on my bed. And me and Robert's rooms were straight across from each other. So I left my door open, and you can see my door, and he left his door open, so we can see into each other's rooms, right? Yeah. So we get to talking and studying, and it's about probably 3 hours later. I look over and my door's closed, and the hallway was set up where my door would stay open if it got cracked. So it has to be closed with purpose.
Yeah.
And so we opened my door up. I was like, someone just closed it. We got into studying and whatever, but trying to rationalize things, right? And so I look at my bed, and it's that fleece lining again.
Yeah.
And my keys, wallet, and phone were put on my windowsill, which my bed connected to the windowsill, like an L. So my bed was like one part of the L, and the window was the other part of the L.
Yeah.
And they weren't picked up; they were like drug, and you just saw like a hand, like a full 5-finger hand, drag each item off the bed. And I thought someone was messing with me. So I said, whatever. And I went to bed that night. And I woke up, and it was about 2-3 in the morning, and my ceiling light's on. This light hasn't worked in 4 months.
That's weird, yeah.
And I wake up, and I get up, and I it's probably like 10-12 steps to the door, and that's where the light switch is, and I turn it off because it woke me up, but it wasn't enough for me to realize something was wrong.
Yeah.
And I'm standing there, and I kind of start waking up. I'm like, my light hasn't worked in 4 months. And so I tried to turn the light back on, nothing. So I start playing with the switch. Like, this is insane. So I went to bed, and I thought I saw something in my closet, but I didn't have one of those closets. It was like an open room, like very open. So the closet was just part of the room. It didn't have like a cover or anything over it. So any light could have been shining in that.
Yeah.
But so maintenance showed up the next day, and he got on his little ladder, and he the covers to the lights.
Yeah.
He just tapped it, and the light came on.
That's weird.
And I said, Robert, I said, there ain't no way in hell that he just got up there and tapped that light and the light
Yeah.
came on. And he's like, I guess it happened.
Yeah.
So ever since my light worked, but like the feeling in the room changed.
Yeah.
And one night we're sitting there, and this all happened within like 14 days. Okay, this is a long story. I'm sorry, dreamers, but you're on a
That's all good.
podcast. Okay. The power went off, and the fire alarms went off, and we thought it was just our building's power, right?
Yeah.
No. Half of Spartanburg's power went out. And I was like, I just got my light fixed and the power goes out. I was like, coincidence? I think not. Right?
Yeah.
But, it turns out some drunk lady hit the power line pole. Anyway, it was just weird. Things like that would always
just
happen.
ironically fixed your light.
Yeah, just fix my light and then, like, the power goes off, right?
That hasn't worked in how long?
Like 4 months. And I was like, oh my goodness. And so then the fire alarm would go off randomly. There's a utility closet across from us that we saw no one ever go in or out. And there was a like an old fashioned alarm clock would go off in it.
Yeah.
This is in the same building, Hammond. And so it comes around like October, like it's Halloween day, and we have a campus event, and they have this ghost hunter or ghost storyteller or whatever come and tell the history of the campus.
Yeah.
And it turns out two people have died in this building.
Yeah.
Okay, and I think one of them was in my room. Kid you not. Okay, he fell out the daggone window and died. God rest his soul.
You're talking about someone's murder right now? Like, what'd you do with him?
No. This is way before. I'm not gonna ruin the story.
I see what you're saying. You think that's the spirit.
This is the history of the building.
Oh,
I think
okay,
it's a
okay.
spirit that was living in my room messing with me. But so that's probably my top ghost story because it's one that I remember. Everything's vivid.
Yeah.
I have personal accounts to back it up. And Robert doesn't lie.
Yeah.
He'll tell you just how it is. He's one of those people. So it's like, look, Robert, tell him the story, and everyone believes it. So if I need to have Robert come on the show and tell the ghost story, that's fine too. But
Yeah.
it's just really weird, and like weird things would happen like that on campus. Like it wasn't just my room, but it was like the whole entire campus had like weird spirits or something weird going on with them. So,
That's crazy.
what about your abnormal event? We'll call it.
My abnormal event. So, I don't know.
I don't want to say paranormal because with you it could be anything.
It could be anything. Like, mine's kind of weird. So, I gotta be careful about how I say this because I do have.
Right,
It is
because
involved
of
with-
your history,
It
right?
is- yeah, my history. So. I don't know if I'm gonna go there. I might save that for another podcast so I can organize it better. I'm trying to think of some. Like, I have tons of interesting stories. Like, we lived in this. Me and a friend. I'm gonna name drop too. His name's Jordan. Went to college with him. We lived in a so-called ministry house, quote unquote.
That sounds kind of cultish.
Yeah.
We can talk about cults another day, though.
Yeah, well, it was a very old house. I think it was built in like the 70s, 60s, 70s. It was very old, falling apart. And we always heard things in the wall. And it wasn't animals or anything, because we actually had, what do you call them, a pest control come out and like check the house. But we came back from class one day and we were sitting on the couch right there at the TV, and we had, and this has nothing to do with electricity or anything, but we had a remote sitting next to one of the guys. I think we were playing Mario Kart on N64.
I love me some Mario Kart.
Yeah. You know how it's corded controllers? So one of the controllers gets pulled out of his hands. And no one tripped over the cord or anything, which
What?
is really weird.
That is weird.
And then the door, my bedroom door, which was, so the TV's straight ahead of you. Just imagine TV's right in front of you. To the right, probably 10 feet, my bedroom door was right there because we had three other guys staying in three other rooms.
Right.
That door shuts, and then the door across from that shuts, and then the other two don't shut. So mine's a lot shorter in years, but all in all, we think someone, like, when we came in that door, It wasn't the wind. There's no way wind can pull a controller out of your hand. Like, it's just impossible. But that controller gets slung out of his hand. No one tripped over the cord, nothing. We weren't drunk. We weren't drinking or anything like that. No one was high. No typical college events were going on. Like, it was just really weird. That's like one of the weirdest things that I experienced. And plus there was tons of spirits on that campus because in this building called Stringer on campus, you might have heard from it from Virginia, but there's this building called Stringer that apparently a homeless guy was living in the attic. And it was a Christian building, like where you go for worship and stuff when the university first opened. But that person that was homeless hanged himself, and the university tried to cover it up and make sure that no one heard about it. And it's actually a legit thing. Like, you can go back and look at news articles. I don't know exactly where to look, or I would, but I had a teacher that I became close with in my premarital counseling with. She told me the whole story. She was there when it actually happened, but it wasn't a homeless person. It was a student committed suicide in this building. Was living in Stringer because she was getting made fun of so much that she moved out of her dorm room and started living in this building. Then someone called her stupid, were giving her like death threats and all that stuff. She killed herself in that building. That building was closed off for renovation, quote unquote. It was definitely someone who killed themselves. Everyone was trying to cover it up. This was like way before there was a male and female college. And that person is apparently haunting that building, because if you go in there, I've went in there at night to close it up because I work security there. I'm not even giving a name of the university, but if people want to know, you can DM us and maybe I'll give you a hint or where it's located without giving a name. Maybe a GPS location or something like that. You can
geotag it.
Yeah. But it is actually a haunted building. I have walked in there. And I've walked in there, the lights were on. I'm upstairs in the area where, because we have to go up there and check that attic. I was up, climbing up the ladder to the attic, and all of the lights in the whole building went off. So I go downstairs, I cannot see anything. I had to pull my flashlight out, flashlight wouldn't work. So I had to run into a classroom and pull the generator, because there's a electric generator thing that cuts on the whole building. So I had to go pull that. Everything came back on.
I'm not gonna lie, I would have been like a little girl.
Oh, I was scared.
Yeah, I'm like a little girl running around there.
I almost jumped out the window.
Hey guys, the heck with this place.
Yeah, I
stay here.
I think I quit 4 weeks after that. So, yeah, going in that building, checking that, and hearing noises in the attic, going up there, and then the lights go off. Yeah, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard stories where students go in there because there's a dance room in there. It's where the choir practices. It's where the dance performers practice before like a gauntlet type thing for the president of the university.
Yeah.
The Christian ministries professors are working there. Yeah, so I've heard stories where they walk in there and they actually see someone going in. There's this one room they like to go into, the spirit. And they just renovated the whole building, so I don't know exactly what exists in there anymore, but apparently they've seen the spirit walk into that building and then they go upstairs and then see it standing there at the attic entry. So yeah, it's pretty terrifying, but that's one of my closest encounters with actual ghosts. Someone who wants to be here, because I read something that's pretty interesting. Like, a ghost has a specific, there's a specific time, sorry, I can't talk. There's a specific time that a ghost has to enter or to stay on Earth or something.
Yeah.
That I've heard. Like, they have like 10 days. There's this light, so-called light, I'm guessing heaven, that people can enter, or whatever religion you are where the light exists. I don't know who we're talking to, but...
Did they interview a ghost and find this out? Like, how they...
That's what I'm wondering. Like,
right.
Scientists, ghost scientists say that ghosts have like 10 days and most enter the light.
Oh, this is by a psychic medium.
Yeah.
We all know my feelings about mediums.
Hey, I think they exist. So, but like, they have like 10 days, and if they don't, they stay on Earth, which sucks. Like,
I have a joke for you.
That's like missing a train. I miss all my trains, so I guess I'm gonna be a ghost when I die. So,
I have a joke for you.
I'm like, okay.
What's one thing that you do before you go to bed?
Usually I get some water.
I move over into a slow lane.
Before you go to bed? Maybe you sleep in the slow lane? I'm confused. I don't get this.
That's the point.
Oh, okay.
So like you fall asleep at the wheel.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I move over into a slow lane before I go to bed. Yeah.
Yeah. I usually get the water. Usually get some water and then take some melatonin, and then I don't remember falling asleep.
Right, yeah, you took that way too seriously.
Yeah, I did. That's because I take sleep too seriously. Who doesn't take sleep seriously?
College kids, people who work 80 hours a week.
Oh, I slept way too much in college.
Me too.
I don't know how I passed
I sleep
college.
less now than I did in college, which is probably okay, but...
Yeah, because I graduated with honors, and I slept and did some stuff I shouldn't have.
I did not graduate with honors, and I do not believe that. So.
You don't believe I graduated with honors?
No, I believe you graduate with honors. You're like, ooh, I did perilous things.
3.5, right on it. 3.51. I was 0.1 above honors. Because you know your honors is 3.5 or above.
I wouldn't know that.
Oh, okay. What'd you get? 3.0?
No, so my overall GPA for like my combined
You went to
colleges.
SWU, right?
Yeah. So my overall GPA with my combined colleges was probably like 3, like solid 3, but like my SWU GPA
Anything over
was like a
2.5.
3.5, but they didn't count that one. They count
Oh, I
your
see.
combined.
Anything above 2.5 is actually good. Like,
I hope so.
I had an easy major, so I got lucky. I don't know what was yours again?
Human services.
Yeah, yours could probably be hard because you took like sociology and stuff like that.
Yeah, a lot of
That stuff was hard.
anatomy of the brain, physiology of.
Yeah.
of
Mine
that.
was more of Jason's fighting a hair off that's floating in the air right now.
It's the real deal.
Mine was more of like management because I did management marketing. So mine was more
Yeah.
of studying how people work together rather than how people judge each other. I guess what you were doing. Because human services could definitely be a good manager of a business because you kind of understand how people work.
Yeah.
So,
So this is kind of our business. You run it and I manage it.
yeah.
Something else that was interesting that has happened the past few weeks is I started drinking Irish whiskey,
Mhm.
like Jameson, Redbreast 12, and then I used to not drink a lot of whiskey.
Hmm.
I used to make that weird cringe face
Yeah.
because I was a little baby. But my buddy Dalton got me into, he kind of eased me into it.
Hmm.
And he educated me on how to sip whiskey, how to enjoy it, bourbon, scotch, your other whiskey, Irish whiskey, things like that, right?
Yeah.
So I started drinking that, and so that's like my new thing. I don't do it all the time, but
Yeah. I don't like whiskey. Whiskey gives me a headache, makes me angry.
well, I usually only have like 1 or 2 drinks of it. Now that Jack Daniel's honey,
That is pretty.
that
good.
is that's kind of on point, and it's scary because it's
Yeah.
it's really good. Really good. Yeah.
I like rum. I don't know why. It's not because I
Like
Jack
spice
Sparrow.
rum, clear rum.
They have this. I think it's something Cannonball. I don't know if that was rum.
Yeah.
Captain Morgan. Maybe?
Captain Morgan Cannibal.
That's really good. Especially if you add a little bit of a mint like extract or something like
Yeah.
into it, because it kind of comes a little minty for some. It's a little weird, but I like that. But
You could probably like a spiced mojito or something with that.
yeah.
If you like the mint.
Yeah. So we were talking about ghosts. Like, it's just kind of like, do you think that you have a relative that could be a ghost that's like we're going really deep into this, but
Do you think I have a
because a lot of
relative?
people think you
That
have
would
like
come back.
the guardian that's like protecting you. That's a
Okay,
relative,
I think ain't like your guardian angel.
yeah.
Um,
Do you think it's more of someone who decides to stay back to protect you and you won't see them again? Like
Okay.
almost like a literally.
I think from if we're getting really like into like my personal beliefs,
Yeah.
I kind of feel like I have a team up in heaven.
Mhm.
And it, they probably all have to take some Alka-Seltzer and some Advil, but I think it's made up, of your guardian angels. I
Yeah.
think you have more than one.
Yeah.
And then I think probably your relatives are probably sitting up there trying to chime in a little bit.
Yeah.
For me, it's comforting to think, that your relatives are up there, looking down at you, guiding you, through your life and death choices, obviously, because they're not going to come down and like, hey, probably shouldn't, do this, you probably should do that.
Yeah.
But I kind of think, that little internal voice in your head's guided by those.
Yeah.
But if we're getting like this deep, I think that your internal voice is guided.
Yeah.
Not like your instinctive voice, because the brain, 4 out of 5 thoughts are negative. So not that instinctive thought, but like the voice.
Yeah.
You know, when you're thinking in your
I
head,
think all of my thoughts are negative, but that's just me. Like, I just kind of go against what I'm thinking, because usually it's a good idea.
But that's what you have to do, because like a lot of your brain's wired to be negative for some reason.
I used to just go with all the bad things because it was easier.
Yeah.
And fun. Going against it's usually not fun, but like, oh yeah, here's some drugs. You want to do some drugs? Sure. Yeah. No. Like, nah. Can't do that.
Mine usually was like stunts and like daring things.
Yeah.
Like, let's go swim in December and there's ice on the lake.
Or something stupid like this big hill. Like, I would always push my middle brother down a hill because I was that big brother that liked to test things on the sled. Or like, we would get a box and put it on top of a wagon and see how far the box would roll after we hit a tree or something. Like,
I used to have a little red wagon.
Yeah.
And I would ride down my hill right into a lake, and I did that for hours, I'm sure. And then the wagon just finally broke. We never fixed it.
Yeah.
But that was something that was like.
But that was always fun. Just kind of using. It's almost like having a test dummy that you kind of care about, but he usually pissed you off, or she usually pissed you off the day before, and you're like, oh, he deserves to get run into a tree today.
I was usually the test dummy, so I wouldn't really know. I'm my buddy Josh.
Sometimes I'll be the test dummy after another test dummy will go before me, just to show me it was okay.
No, he would just make me do things. We also had another buddy, Luke, who I'm sure never gonna listen to this. I think he likes me very much at this point. I did torture him in his childhood. I did apologize. So,
yeah,
we used to beat up on him a lot, not purposefully, like bullying. Like, I think bullying in our day was like indirect, but it was direct. Like, we meant to bully some people, right?
Yeah.
And then sometimes you didn't mean to. You're just being like an asshole.
Yeah.
You're just like, whatever.
Yeah.
Or you would make fun of people, but that was just kind of your personality type.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna get into personality types. Where was it going with this?
I don't know. We were talking about ghosts, so.
You got me on like some kind of like backwoods road, man.
We started with like Comic-Con, like what we did this weekend.
Like we're on a trail, and their signs are saying, ghost topic a mile this way, and then we're like, we'll keep following this path. Yeah. Let's see where this goes. I have no idea, man. I don't know. Ghosts. I already told you I thought about them. And then you asked me if you think that we have like guardian ghosts. I don't think we have guardian ghosts because I don't think good people get trapped here. I don't believe that. I think it's like people that, like all the Hollywood stuff. I'm saying Hollywood, like, encapsulate all the entertainment.
Yeah.
They're always like people that were brutally murdered, surprise murdered, did the murder and then died themselves. Things like that. Yeah.
But,
so you've never heard of a good person, you never heard of like a saint or a pope wandering around, right? You never heard of a preacher. You never heard, people that,
So I'm gonna try something new. We can keep talking right now, but we're gonna be calling someone on Instagram Live, and they're gonna give us a topic to talk about. So
we're just calling a random person.
Yeah, calling a random person, see what they do, see if it actually someone actually answers. But we're gonna see. I'm gonna send an invite to someone else too. So. But anyways, like, do you think ghosts can be helpful? Like,
I don't think ghosts can be helpful. I think angels. I think angels are helpful, not ghosts. I think that there has to be a separation, obviously.
Yeah.
Angels and like demons, and then you have like your ghosts and your paranormal and stuff.
Yeah.
So. Are you videoing me right now?
Huh?
Is this a video?
Yeah. We're live right now on mine, not the dream one, because I have more followers on mine, so maybe it would reach more people. But
yeah, but we should
you can do the dream one and call someone. You can call Virginia or something, and I'm using mine. You know how to go live and how to invite people, right? Or I could figure it out if you want me to. But
you know me, I'm technologically enabled.
Yeah.
Let me switch.
Technology's crazy right now. Like, it's marijuana. is I don't know how we keep going.
You know marijuana?
You know marijuana is
The green stuff that you smoke and gets you feeling real good, brother.
medically though. If that stuff becomes legal, they expect it to be a bigger industry than technology, which is crazy. Marijuana, just a plant.
It's
They
gonna bring a
expect
lot of
that
money.
industry and stocks to be higher than technology, like Apple, higher than any of that stuff. Like it's me and my wife have even been talking about like getting into stocks because we have some investments, small investments here and there, like some savings accounts built up, but we want to actually get into the stock market, like get a mutual fund or something like that. But hey, we could get a mutual fund on ghosts since we're talking about that. But anyways, so you want to go to Comic-Con next year?
I'm trying to figure out how this live thing works.
Here, I'll do it for you and then I'll give it to you.
This is gonna be looking at you. We don't have anywhere to set up
That's
to look
fine.
at both of us.
We're gonna be videoing each other. But what do you want to go to? Why wouldn't you want to go to Comic-Con next year?
Okay, so here's my thing. I don't nerd out or geek out about enough stuff to be respected to go, or even to hold a daggone conversation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is it just rolling right now?
Yeah, it's rolling. When you end it, so don't end it yet, but I just sent an invite to Virginia. So when it's accepted, or when you end it, click share, not end, because then it just, I'll show you. Just tell me when you end it and I'll show you what to do. But, like, I don't know. I feel like anyone could enjoy, because did you ever read comics as a kid? Like, you never read comics as a kid?
I was an outside boy.
Well, I was too, but I still read comics.
But I was an outside boy.
You could read comics outside.
No. Like,
No.
hey, I didn't have enough. Like, my friend group wasn't.
When did you get adopted?
I was 1.5.
Okay, so you were definitely over here by.
About 2.
Okay.
Yeah. My friend group, we didn't geek out about that stuff. We geeked out about like motorcycle, like dirt bikes, outdoor stuff.
Yeah.
Bicycles, we had a lot of bikes. I think I probably still have like 6 bikes just rusting outside of my daggum barn.
Yeah.
Which my mom hates, but I love you, Mom. Hope you're listening. Probably not. If you are, you probably give me a speech about how it could be better. But it's okay.
Yeah, it's alright.
Got into fitness whenever I was really young, so that probably took place. I read both bodybuilding encyclopedias. That's pretty interesting. So I think that probably took place of the nerdiness, like bodybuilding, because it does take a lot to get into. So you have to read and understand, the muscles and insertions and stuff like that. So but I don't think I'd even go to a bodybuilding show or like a fit expo.
You don't think you would, or you don't think you have been?
I don't know.
You don't think you would?
Because I always heard you never meet your heroes.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Because they're most likely to disappoint.
Yeah.
But that's probably outdated. Like, I'm sure a lot of people have met like people that they look up to, and they haven't been disappointed. But you don't really want that expectation.
Yeah.
So.
Have you ever done like any? Have you ever been skydiving?
No. Have you? Well, of course you have.
I have, but have you ever done like anything? So I know you did bodybuilding. Have you ever wanted to do any kind of like extreme? You've probably snowboarded or skied at one point in your life.
I think water tubing is an extreme sport.
Water tubing,
yes.
like jumping waves type water tubing, or just like riding behind a boat.
Jumping waves behind a boat.
Yeah, I guess it could be.
They make a flying tube.
Yeah, and they're illegal now.
They damn well should be,
because a lot of kids died using those things because they go up and they fall
and they break their little frail little bodies.
Yeah, because they're kids.
Because they're kids. Extreme sports other than water tubing. No, I wanted to do BMX as a kid. Like, I saved up money and bought a 661 helmet.
Yeah.
Never liked helmets, so I never wore it. So that was a waste of like $400.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say no extreme sports. I did karate. That's not an extreme sport though.
Yeah, it kind of is because mixed martial arts.
Yeah, but it wasn't
if
on
you
that
mix it
level.
up in like cage fight or something like that.
Yeah,
It could
yeah. High school soccer should be recognized as a contact sport for sure.
High school soccer.
Yes.
I don't know what that's looking at, but we're gonna go with it.
It's probably looking right at your back.
It probably is. Yeah. Let's do it like over here. Is anyone else join? No, Virginia's the only one. So, hey, there's Jason.
Hello, Virginia.
We were so. Virginia is watching this one.
Is she watching this one?
How is she watching mine but not yours? She's watching this one. I don't know why, but yeah.
I don't know.
It might be because I invited her before you started yours. I don't know. I invited Charlotte too, but Charlotte just doesn't care about us, I guess. So thanks, Charlotte.
It's fine, Charlotte. It's okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know, really. So no, what about you?
Like I've been to conventions, but are you talking about extreme sports?
Stream sports. Stream sports. That's a shout.
The only thing I really haven't done,
Stream sports.
because I grew up surfing. Like I've surfed, or wakeboarded. I guess technically grew up doing that, and then went into surfing, skateboarded, snowboarded. I'm better at snowboarding than anything. Raced dirt bikes when I was younger. I ride motorcycles now. Been skydiving. Been snorkeling. Been cage diving with sharks. Swam with sharks. Open cage.
Pause.
Like
You're talking like really nonchalantly about it, and it's kind of annoying. Yeah, I just done 30 stream sports, and I'm just casual.
no, but I'm trying to think of something I haven't done. That's the thing.
Like you've been cage diving with sharks, and you don't have one awesome story about the shark like almost eating you.
No, I don't, because you're in a cage. Like they're like so far away from you, you just see shadows. Like it's not like Discovery Channel cage diving. It's not like that. Like they don't come right up on the cage.
Like off camera, there's like half a dead cow behind you.
Like I can't
Luring
imagine.
them then in.
I can't imagine how long those guys on Discovery Channel fish for that shark to come up to that cage, because it took
Days probably.
days. Like when we were out there, it took them forever just to get the shark to where we could see the shadow. Like they're not. People think sharks like, oh, there's some blood fish in the water. Those sharks don't come right up to it. No, it doesn't happen like that. They make it look like that on TV, but I mean, I didn't even see a great white. Like they had blood and stuff from the whatever you call it when they ground up the fish on top, like not
Chumming?
on top of the cage. Not on top of the cage like some of the Shark Week stuff, because that is kind of dangerous. If a small shark comes in and starts like, because there's the spinner sharks that just grab onto you and spin.
Yeah.
But like way out, like probably 20 yards in front of our cage, they would drop it, and they wouldn't even come close to it. But there was just like white tips, and I think we saw one tiger shark pretty far away. Might have been a tiger shark. But then me and Charlotte went and swam with Nerf sharks, which is one of the most harmless sharks.
Yeah.
We did that on our honeymoon. That's actually where I got this tattoo, the shark tattoo. Me and her have the same one. But I mean, you could touch them and stuff. They swim like right by you. It was either that or swim with dolphins, and me and Charlotte picked sharks. So
First of all, here's a rant for you.
Yeah.
We went to an aquarium, and I wanted to pet a penguin. So it's like $45 to get in the door at the aquarium.
at the Georgia Aquarium.
And it just at the Georgia Aquarium.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, for $45,
Yeah.
I want to be impressed,
Yeah.
right? You can have a nice meal for I can't talk for have a nice meal for
Oh, you finished it.
$5.
Oh, you didn't finish it.
No. And so I get that an aquarium is impressive.
Yeah.
Like, hey, there's a lot of
Georgia Aquarium's really impressive.
Right.
Yeah.
I get it, but I wasn't impressed.
Yeah.
Now my expectations for an aquarium, I think, is more interactive.
Yeah. Did you pet the penguin?
No, I'm not there yet. So, yeah, you get it. You have these big fishes and things behind glass, and we can walk under the tunnel and all that. Cool. Like I can do that on the Discovery Channel at home in my boxers eating popcorn. It's like the football game. People will geek out about going to a football game, but you're stuck in a nosebleed seat unless you spend $400 on a ticket and you're chilling down there. Anyway, so I was like, you know what? Might get a pet a penguin, and talked to a lady, and she's like, well, that's another, $65.
It is expensive.
And I do have a story about almost going skydiving now that we're talking about this.
Almost going skydiving.
And I was like, and then she's like, but that's not a guarantee to pet the penguin. You're guaranteed to see the penguin, but not to pet the penguin because the penguin can have moods. And the penguin may not want to
pay that $65 to maybe pet the penguin?
Yeah, it's like going on a date with a hot chick, okay? And you buy her dinner, right? And
you might kiss her.
And you might...
Or go home.
You might go home with her. And you could go home with her, and Mother Nature could call.
Yeah, it
right?
could be. Yeah, you could end up with a kid.
So that's basically how it was transferring. That's not what I meant. I meant like, she has like her cycle, and she's like, no, it just started. And you're like, what? Or like it's a third date, now it's delayed. That's besides the point.
Yeah, I see what you're going on.
Right, so you're kind of gambling. And I was like, look,
could end up with a kid.
I'm not gambling to pet a dang penguin. Either I'm going to get to pet this penguin, or we ain't. You know what I'm saying?
$65 because that's a date with a penguin. I'm not getting it.
Right. And so penguins apparently get moody, and there's a lot of people right now that are probably can relate to say, I paid that $65 and I didn't get to pet that penguin, or I paid that. I took that chick out on the date
because it was PMSing.
Right, and this dang chick is PMSing on me. This ain't happening.
Chicken is. It's a penguin.
It's an Arctic chicken, a penguin Arctic chicken, bro.
Hey.
And okay, so that's my penguin story. I always went skydiving. So we was up in North Carolina. It was just me and my mom, and my mom was like, "I'll pay for you to go skydiving if it's reasonable."
Yeah.
So I found the skydiving place. It's the only one. There's not a lot of them, and the reason that is the price to go skydiving is outrageous.
Do you know what the title of this is going to be?
No.
Do you think a chicken is an Arctic, or do you think a penguin is an Arctic chicken?
Yes, that's what it's going to be.
Is an Arctic chicken a penguin?
Yes, I like that one better.
Question mark, and that's
Question mark.
But anyways.
They do lay eggs.
Yeah, they do. They kind of look like they have a beak.
Of course, I don't know how society will feel.
Also, they have a pecker.
Yeah, they got a pecker too. Well, there are penguins do live in warm climates, believe it or not. So it could be an Arctic chicken.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with it, except I would feel a lot worse than
a prehistoric Arctic chicken. Actually, were they? I don't know. We're not gonna go that far.
I don't know when they.
We're just gonna say Arctic chicken
because
Arctic chicken.
Did the penguin lay the egg, or did the egg lay the penguin?
The egg evolved and the penguin came out of it.
That's right.
And it laid
because there was a chicken that was getting cold.
Yeah. Because kind of like how tadpoles turn into frogs eventually, like.
Yeah. Okay, so I found the place, and online it had some prices, and it said, come in to the hangar and whatever, we'll talk.
Yeah.
That's not what it said. It was much more professional. So I said, okay, I'll go talk. Go and meet the guy. The dude's a classic, people that have a lot of adrenaline.
Yeah.
For multiple years constantly, they have a
or
different
an adrenaline
look.
Need.
Right. They have a different look in their face. It's kind of...
They get depressed when they're not around it.
Right, and you're kind of maybe you should take an insulin shot. An insulin shot.
That's diabetes.
Like an EpiPen shot, to get your dang adrenaline up or something.
Yeah.
And so he said,
right now.
it's an 8-hour flying class.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm just going to tell you what he told me. 8-hour flying class.
Yeah.
Right. Then you're not guaranteed to fly the same day or within.
This is the skydiving.
Right.
Going skydiving. Okay.
You're not guaranteed to fly the same day, and it's $275 for the class, and then it's like another $100 and something for the plane, and then another $100 something for equipment.
Yeah.
And I looked at him and I said, okay, I understand for the class, right? But I'm attached to somebody. Mm-hmm. I ain't falling out the daggone sky, ripping cords or nothing.
Someone else is. And then if theirs don't work, they better give me a parachute.
So, and then it said the airplane fee. I said, we're jumping out the damn plane. We ain't flying in it. I'm not. No.
If you are, it's for 15 minutes.
Right. You go up and then you're like 20 seconds, 30 seconds in the air. Sometimes 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
25 minutes usually get up.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm like, we ain't flying this thing. We're jumping out it. So there's no point in playing.
I'm not paying no $200 to fly
Right.
the
Like,
airplane.
what is the carry on too much? Like, am
I
I
can
too
get
much?
a flight to California for less than $200.
Right.
Well, maybe not, but close to
Well,
that.
you could go to Las Vegas from here. It's a round trip for like $80.
$250? Really?
Yes.
So yeah.
Yeah. So that guy can go jump out the plane with the parachute.
And
so I said
stuck
that
with
to
the
him,
penguin pecker.
and he looked at me and he's like, "Do you want to skydive or not?" I said, "No, I don't." And then the package you have to fill out, it's worse than buying a car. Because they can't be liable.
Where did you go? Greenville?
This place in North Carolina.
Was it Cherokee? No, Cherokee, South Carolina.
No, this was like towards the coast.
Okay.
A very nice facility, but
So you skydive over the water?
yeah, you skydive over the water and then you come back
Okay.
on.
It was one of the
over
less
the
sketchy
airport.
places then, probably. Yeah. Greenville's got one, but it's sketchy. You can imagine Greenville.
They just take you up in a helicopter and
Yeah.
chunk you pretty much.
And they've had people die there. Cherokee, South Carolina's had people die there in the past.
That's the mountains. Who skydives in the mountains?
Cherokee's not in the mountains. Greenville is kind of, yeah.
Cherokee's in the mountains, bro.
Cherokee's in the mountains?
Yeah.
No, it's like
Cherokee,
the
North
ridge.
Carolina?
It's like right before the mountains. No, not North Carolina, South Carolina. It's near, you know where Rock Hill, York,
Yeah.
Clover? It's right there.
Oh yeah.
Not Cherokee, North Carolina.
I guess about to say
Cherokee, North Carolina, yeah, I know where that is. That is the mountains.
something else happened to me. So I'm gonna say this, and I'm probably we're gonna get in trouble. But
Yeah.
so because we went to a casino
We can fix things if needed.
in North Carolina.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say the name of it.
Okay.
And it was me, Virginia, and two of our really good friends.
Mhm.
And they were playing on a table, and I was standing behind it drinking my Jameson. It's fine. I've listened to an hour and 45-minute podcast.
Okay.
It's fine. And drinking my Jameson, and Virginia looks at me and she goes, "What do you think about casinos?" I said, "Well, there's a lot of conspiracies involved in a casino." And I said, especially, the ones, kind of on the east side, the East Coast. Because, America kind of did the Native Americans wrong.
Yeah.
I'm willing to stand by that. But I blame on Andrew Jackson.
Yeah.
He's an interesting president.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I explained all that to her. I said, look, there's just a lot of money. There's a lot involved with the tribes. The tribal communities don't accept federal money or state money, and they rely on the casinos, and then they hoard the money, and it kind of sucks the life out of the tribe and the communities, and it puts them in poverty. And I said that they have these places mic'd and videoed up to where they just have people walking around with mics on so they can hear everything that's being said because they don't lose money because it's a casino. And I said, just as I got done saying that, the pit boss looked at me in Virginia and called us over and asked for IDs.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you have to be ID'd to get in the door, and you have to be ID'd to get a daggum drink, right? And we're not that far from the entrance. So I don't know what he was thinking, but he ID'd both of us and then told us to be careful. So that confirms my conspiracies about casinos.
Yeah. Casinos are sketchy.
The ones over here.
The ones over
The ones in Las Vegas, I'm sure
Atlantic City, like New Jersey's, there's pretty nice. It's kind of
right.
Like Vegas,
They're not wrapped in conspiracy.
No.
Right.
The ones over here, but yeah. Anyways, Dreamers, it's been real. We've got into a lot of different topics. Next week, we'll see where it goes. We're going to try to connect something. I'm going to try to organize my story that I was going to start this week about a real life event that happened that I have to be really careful about talking about because I had a non-disclosure agreement about it with some very secret people.
Intriguing
Yeah,
individuals.
So we'll try to get into that. Jason's going to try to get into some more of his conspiracies. We're going to see where our ghost talk maybe goes. We're going to try to plan something next time. But it's been unedited. It's been real.
We do want to hear your feedback.
Yeah,
So
we do.
subscribe, give us your feedback.
Please.
Like, even if you're the one listener or the
Share us to your
13
friends.
or the 23, we appreciate you. We love you.
Yeah.
And in about a year, y'all be our grassroots supporters. And who knows? Whenever we make it big, we'll be giving y'all some free stuff. So there's your incentive.
Yeah. It's been real, Dreamers. Keep it real.